just got Taco Bell. I don't get Taco Bell too often, but I just got Taco Bell, and the kid that took my order, he was the most excited and happy and like empathetic individual that I've ever seen at a Taco Bell or even a fast food place in general. He was just excited and happy. And, we chit-chatted about this and that and the other thing in the 2 minutes that I had to get my order. And then at the end of it, he's like, hey, man, could you fill out this survey on the back of the receipt? My boss says if enough people fill it out, then I'll get a bonus. And I normally don't fill out any surveys, but I was like, sure, man, I'll fill it out for you. So I got to go home and I got to look on the back of the receipt and find where you go to fill the survey. I got to remember his name, Jacob. And then hopefully I'll help him get a bonus. It was fun. He was a real individual. I wanted to say a few things about action versus listening to people giving advice. Action versus action versus listening to people giving advice. I've tried both methods in terms of trying to achieve something in my life, and listening to people give advice accomplishes nothing whatsoever. It's similar to the concept of watching television and movies and watching people pretend to live, which is essentially what television and movies is. They're making a pretend story and living vicariously through them. And then you don't notice quite as much if your life is a big mess, because you're living through the people you're watching on the television. So that's kind of similar to just listening to someone give advice, which inevitably is going to be generic advice, because we are far too unique as individuals to really be able to benefit from a random person giving advice. Now, I know that, this current bit of advice is makes the statement slightly hypocritical. But of course, that's completely fine, because life itself is hypocritical. It's full of paradoxes. That makes it pretty nice, though. I think if everything was just 100% straightforward and sort of knowable, like some people would have you believe, I think we would get tired of it pretty soon. And if you imagine, again, the concept of eternity, then your next thought might be, well, we got to get creative up in here if we got to do this shit fucking forever. Forever is a long time. It's a really long time. Or it's no time at all. Right? No time at all. The present moment doesn't have any time in it whatsoever. None. It's endless. No duration whatsoever. It's kind of mind-boggling to think about. So, and I'm not judging the whole business of giving advice. Perhaps if someone is making money off of it or making their living off of it, like they're a self-help guru or something, and their advice is going to be swayed and biased because they're getting paid out of the advice. I wouldn't necessarily recommend that, but more so, instead of looking for advice which is guaranteed to be too general and too generic for you, instead of doing that, maybe look for things or individuals or music. Look for something that gets your heart rate going, or something that inspires you to move, something that inspires you to do something different. Maybe go for that. Because when you're listening to someone give advice, our mind does a really tricky thing, which is, it feels almost as if we already did the thing that they're trying to tell us to how to do, or how to get yourself to do. It's almost like we already did it, and that gives a sort of false assurance that we've accomplished something already, when we have not accomplished anything. We just listened to somebody talk. I generally maintain that change, increasing the complexity and the variation in your life, is going to be a sort of better positional stance. If you would like to have a general positional stance, make it be that your linear run through the day is not straight. Make it go this way and that way, and just pull over to the side of the road and jump out and see if there's anything on the side to look at. Or just randomly call a family member or a friend. You know, it's the spontaneity. That's the muse. The muse is the spontaneity. The 0 point, which holds all of us, once you've found it, provides for stability. And that's stability that you don't choose. That's always there. Whether you know it or not, it's always there. It's always your essence, is that stable 0 point in which everything appears. So if you're getting too worried about, oh my God, I'm doing too many crazy things now, I'm getting in over my head, then just seek out the 0 point and rest in there for however long you need to. And then, go on forth the next moment or the next day, refreshed. So if you could, please leave in the comments what has been your experience with trying to achieve something, attempting to achieve something, attempting to accomplish a goal or a dream, or bring an idea into fruition, or creating something physically or mentally or emotionally. Let me know what have been your experiences with actually getting yourself to do something, or being inspired or moved by somebody else to do something, versus having an idea that says, I want to do this, and then you go Google whatever that thing is, like, say half marathon. You're like, I want to run a half marathon. You've never run before in your life, right? So you go and Google how to run a half marathon, and it says, well, you need to prepare for at least 6 months, maybe 3 to 6 months if you're not intending on, winning the race. And you need to work out such and so many times per day or per week, 3 to 5 times per week, and you need to start off with 2 to 3 to 4 miles per workout and slowly work it up until you're hitting 8 to 9 miles per workout. And then once you can do that consistently 3 days out of the week, at say an average of a 8 to 9 minute mile, then you can be assured that you will, at the very minimum, be able to finish the half marathon. Being that it's your first one, you're not trying to win it. So say, yeah, you watch that video and it gives you all the parameters. It gives you recommended training, recommended intervals, recommended stretching routines. And while you're watching this video, you're just so excited about that feeling as you read through all of the things that you're supposed to be doing. You're just thinking about, you're imagining, you're living yourself doing that, right? And then the video turns off and your 2-second attention span brings you to whatever's coming up next on your Facebook feed, and that the idea passes away into the ether. That's what we don't want to happen, unless you're fine with just mentally masturbating. And that's fine. If you like mentally masturbating versus physically going out and doing something, then more power to you. So let me know what you think. Let me know what you have achieved or what you have failed at because you did too much mental masturbation. Let me hear your experiences, okay?